Hey people, welcome to the Photo Mama podcast. Conversations on all things motherhood, photography and life. I'm Iko-Ọjọ Mercy Haruna, but you can call me Mercy. I'm a photographer and a mom of two beautiful babies.
And I'm Elsie Kibue-Ngare. I'm also a photographer and a mom of two.
What a year, man. What's up?
What a year. It's been amazing.
It's been an amazing year. Really, I don't know. It's been... I feel it feels weird because it's gone by so fast.
It's gone by so fast. I feel like I remember us ringing in 2023 like it was yesterday. But at the same time, I look at all that's happened throughout the year and I'm like, okay, of course, you needed a whole year for all of that to happen, but it just... Now to today's episode.
Well, you know what? It just hit me. I think it was around this time we were like, we need to get this podcast started. You remember? When we were...
Yeah.
I think it was it around
was it
this
December
time?
Or maybe even November?
I think so. When we were setting everything
up.
Well,
I mean, we had been talking about doing the website. I remember when I came to your house in the summer, I think. Or maybe the previous year even. And we took out that notebook and we wrote this and that. And we were like, yeah, this is what we want to do. We had this great idea to share motherhood stories because, again, from many conversations that we'd had together, conversations we'd had with other photo mamas, we knew that there was a gap, there was a space that needed to be filled with our individual unique stories. And we decided we wanted to do this, but obviously you're thinking of all the pieces coming together.
Yeah.
How do we get them all together? And I think it was, this time last year we were like, okay, let's just do it. It's never going to be perfect. I think you got your mic first. Because Elsie's the techie one.
A little story about this mic before we continue. I got the mic for my own thing. It sat unopened, like, I need to do an unboxing, blah, blah, blah. And then the pot, you know what? I guess it's all God's timing, to be honest.
Yeah. So you got your mic, or you told me about the mic.
Yeah.
And you were like, this mic. And I actually think I bought it around Black Friday.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But I know I got it around this time last year. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So, but when are we going to do it? How are we going to do it? What's this going to look like? Being perfectionist, obviously, you want it to be a certain way. And also having worked in podcasting before, I was like, had this thing in my head that it had to be perfect. Like, but obviously, motherhood. What? But, well, I mean, in your opinion, what's been the biggest achievement or highlight of this year? I mean, let's start with your own, like your personal highlights, and then we'll talk about Photo Mama highlights.
Personal highlight this year, getting a job. No, I got the job last year, actually.
You get the job.
Let me say keeping the
Thriving
job.
in the job, maybe?
Keeping the job.
Okay.
Keeping the job. Because it can be hard. It's tough.
Yeah.
As in staying in the job. Because as much as I love my team, I love the job, there are days I'm like, I need to wake up to go to this place. And I'm like, I need to do this. And I remember, oh my God, I have other stuff that I need to achieve. And I can't achieve it without steady income, to be honest. Because photography can be unpredictable. So, that has been one of my biggest achievements personally. And also traveling with my family. All of us, all four of us, for the first time in the summer. That was so much fun.
Is that the first time ever since the kids were born?
Ever. As in all four of us. All four of us. As in, I've gone with my kids, just me and my kids. Robert hasn't been around to go because he's been busy with work and stuff. But yeah, all of us together.
That's
was
lovely.
The first time. I know. And it's not like we were moneyed or anything. We just said, you know what? If we don't get these things done, when will we ever get them done, to be honest?
Exactly.
You just have to...
Because while you're waiting for all the pieces to come together, time will pass you by, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, the kids are growing so quick. So sometimes you just have to take the bull by the horn. Is that a Nigerian saying? I think a lot of Nigerians say it, but I don't know if that's
Yeah. And
universal saying.
And on the subject of traveling, I gotten my shit sorted out. So now I'm like,
yeah.
If you know, you
what
know.
shit, please. No, if you know, you know, because people are like, what shit?
Now I can call myself Kenyan British. Like I got my citizenship sorted out. Yeah. I've been a resident for so long, so I just took the plunge and got my. You know the way this country moves, so I got that sorted out. So at least now I can move kind of with ease,
freely. Yeah. More freely.
And it's been 20-year plus journey.
Yeah,
which a lot of people might not know.
Who don't know exactly. For those who don't know what
it's not an overnight
like.
thing. So be patient. If you're listening and you're going through this stuff, like be patient, save the money. It's the money that puts a lot of people off because it's really expensive, and even now they keep increasing the fees. So I'm really glad that I got it sorted out. Just being healthy, honestly, like generally being healthy, my family being healthy. That has got to count as an achievement. So anyway, enough about me. What about you, Mercy? What has been your biggest achievement?
I had so many highlights.
Come on, share them.
So many. Woo! So my first one, which sort of happened like the second week of January, was that I passed my driving test. If you know, you know. Oh my God. It was a long time coming. I was not one of those people who was like, I want to drive at 18. I'm going to get my first car at 18. It just didn't happen. There was just so many things that were in the way that didn't let me to get this sorted earlier. And then I became a mom, and then the cost then became the biggest thing. After I did get to the point where I was confident, the cost then became an issue. And then after I had a bit of money, then COVID became an issue. And then after COVID, getting an instructor became an issue because everyone who wasn't able to do their driving tests and whatnot during COVID was then catching up. So all the driving instructors were booked up. So I had all those hurdles to overcome, and I eventually started my driving lessons properly in September. So between September and January, I did that.
Yay!
Drove. I did my first test on the 3rd of January. Failed it narrowly, by the way, on parking. Because if you know me, you know my spatial awareness is rubbish. So I failed on parking. Immediately was able to book another date. Passed that. Smashed it.
Yay.
Thank God. I've been driving since then, and it's like a whole new lease on life, because man, where I live out in Kent, so there is no frequent buses, there is no frequent trains and that sort of thing. So you have to drive here. You have to drive, especially when you have kids. You have to get them to this activity and that activity.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been awesome.
Yay! Yes. Congrats.
Thank you. So if there's any mamas in their 30s thinking, oh gosh, I really want to drive, I don't know if I can do it, trust me, if I could do it, you can. It's doable. Elsie's looking at me like,
No, you can.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
Well.
You can do it.
Yeah. Any other highlights?
So my second highlight was actually to do with job as well. Just like you, I needed a bit of stability. Being freelance was just not giving me what I needed. So I was looking for a job that would match my lifestyle, that would fit around my family. And I got one. And it still allows me to use my creative skills, which I'm really happy about. It just was the ideal position at the ideal time. It came right sort of after I passed my test, which was great because I needed to drive for that job. So those two things have been like the best things that have happened to me this year.
Yeah.
And there's been other things. There's been other sort of like great moments. Travel related moments.
Yeah.
We traveled to Switzerland in June, and then we traveled to Zanzibar.
Yeah.
We traveled to Zanzibar in October for my sister-in-law's wedding. That was like top. Not even just for this year, but for like maybe the last 10 years was a real highlight. I've never been to a place so beautiful.
Yeah.
You're from East Africa.
Yeah.
And I was like, you people have been gatekeeping. Gatekeeping this beautiful country.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
Well,
we haven't been gatekeeping.
Well,
it's been out there with the safaris, the beaches, everything. It's out there.
You didn't talk about it enough, cause no. Zanzibar is beautiful. If you've never been, put it on your list. It's amazing. Let's especially us as Africans. I feel like Africans don't travel around Africa enough. So go there if you can.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Oh, amazing.
I have too many highlights. I have too many highlights. Okay,
we have too many highlights, but we're just sharing like probably the major ones that we can remember at the moment. Cause
that's true.
I am still claiming it, mommy brain. I'm sorry. It's still there. even when your kids are teenagers, in my case.
Yeah.
Or rather, my
God,
kid, one child, is a teen.
You have a teenager.
Imagine.
Is that weird?
No. We have to celebrate ourselves, So, yeah, I'm a mom of a teen.
Well done, you.
Of course. You too as well, Because it's never easy, like juggling all this stuff and then being a mom and being present. It's never easy. But we make it happen, We just have to make do with what we've got and just take each day as it comes, and also give give ourselves grace, with everything that happens, especially with everything that's happening at the moment around the world. So, So, I know you've spoken, but what has been your lowlights this year?
I think the hardest thing for me is also still related to what the highlight is. That's to tell you that when there is there's usually pros or cons that come with pros. So the hardest thing for me has actually been transitioning into working full time, not being able to be there to pick up my kids and do all the activities like I used to with them when I was, working freelance. Also, I haven't done as much photography as personal projects wise. I haven't done as much of that as I would like. I am still doing photography as part of my job. My job's in marketing and communication, so I still do a lot of photography. I still do a lot of videography and stuff, but I feel like my personal creative practice has really taken a hit, and I'm hoping that I can find the balance in 2024 and pick that up again. While I'm making some money on the side, not forget myself and my practice in the midst of all that.
Wow, yeah. Something to think about, to be honest.
There is no perfect situation, is there?
No.
What about your lowlights for the year?
Personally, if I'm thinking hard about this one, it's probably I didn't have as many as I would have thought for this year, to be honest.
Okay.
But I think it's financial. Even though I've been saying I traveled, but it also comes with its opposite side. Like, you spend all of this money, now you have to catch up because you're thinking of your next thing. And also with regards to, like not having enough money to do stuff, even though I have a job and everything, we're just trying to make ends meet. And then other things are piling up on top, and it can be a bit stressful, not just at home by myself and my family here, but also with
the world in general, right?
World in general, and also extended family, Just trying to find that balance can be a bit hard, and it can be sort of demoralizing in a way. Like you're trying to find your footing, and then something happens
and throws you off.
It throws you off. Like even the smallest thing. Like for example, what happened recently? Like our fridge broke. Not necessarily broke, but. And then we were getting another one, and then it became a big issue. We had to return it and all of that. And then it's like, it seems trivial, but in hindsight, it's like annoying. It's those little annoyances.
Yeah.
So imagine, something like that. I can't. necessarily think of something like I
Big,
don't know,
major.
major. Yeah, I'd like to say it's a global.
But that's good. I mean, I'm a gratitude person, so
yeah.
I'm good. I think we should then take stock and take opportunity to be grateful then, because none of us have been sick.
Yeah.
We haven't had any major life issues that. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Don't know where that came from. Yeah, we haven't had any major like reason to cry and be sad. So I'm grateful. I thank God so much that my family, everyone's healthy and we're happy.
Yeah.
And everything else will just fall into place, wouldn't it?
Exactly. But I've just remembered one that happened recently. Oh my God. Yeah. That I wasn't happy about. And it was to do with my photography. Like I got to deal with a major incident. Like I wasn't 100% happy about. And I shared it with a few people. I won't go into much detail. Just basis like I was dealing with somebody very, very difficult in my opinion. Just in case they get to listen to this episode. They were difficult and there were a lot of red flags, to be honest. And I didn't listen to my gut, basically. And what ended up happening is, for the first time ever, even if I've dealt with difficult people, there's been room to maneuver. But in this incident, there was no room to maneuver. And for the first time ever, I ended up deleting somebody's whole catalog of pictures that I took of them. So,
wow.
Yeah. I've never felt so liberated in my life, to be honest, because, I didn't want that energy.
You're not going to give us the full tea, are you?
No.
The people who
have given the full tea know what I'm talking about. So they're kind of aware, but I don't want to go into much detail here. But yeah, it wasn't a pleasant incident. I think it was the whole collaboration just didn't work out. To be honest, the person is not bad. It's just the work environment was horrible. Yeah.
Right.
The person was really nice away from work mode. They were really nice, but on work mode, nah. I wouldn't work with that person, to be honest. And and it feels like I'm almost contradicting myself by saying that. But there's some people who are pleasant to be with it on a social setting, but when they're to work with, they're a nightmare. So, nah, not for me. So that was, I think, one of my lowest lowlights of this year. Yeah, that I've just kind of remembered and I wanted to share. So if you do get those instances, my advice would be trust your gut. We tend to ignore that a lot.
Say that again.
Trust your gut.
We tend to ignore.
We tend to ignore our gut. We tend to ignore our gut feelings most of the time, yeah.
Trust your gut, people. And I hope for you that was a learning experience.
Yeah, of course. I did. I took I took positives from it. And even when I tell the story to people, I'm like, I learned a lot from that. I took a lot of positives from it because, I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
We want to take this opportunity to thank our guests that have come onto their podcast this year to share their stories with us, to be vulnerable with us. You know, it's never easy to do that, but we are so grateful for your time. Should we list them off?
Yeah, go.
We want to say thank you to Karen and Diane, Dominique, Carney, and iMama Project. We thank you all so much for coming on to the podcast and sharing your stories. We enjoyed our conversations with you. We hope that everyone who listened also took one or two things from our conversations with you. We hope you'll come back.
Yes.
We hope you'll come back, especially Carney, because we've not had that full conversation yet, because her episode was about going to the book launch, and we kind of did like a live from the...
That was so impromptu.
On the field.
By the way.
Yeah, on the field reporting type of episode. That was interesting.
Yeah.
So we are still expecting Carney to join us for a full episode where she shares her story with us. But yeah, thank you all so much. We do have people who we've recorded. who are coming soon.
Yeah.
Because life is lifing, we haven't been able to necessarily put out, because of all the editing and everything else that's needed to get episodes up. We have recorded, but we haven't published the episodes yet. But we thank those people as well. We won't mention who they are yet. We thank them as well for their time and for their...
I know. Because it's
for sharing with us.
This journey has been really interesting for both of us because we've learned a lot. In the short space of
We've
time.
learned on the job. We've learned on the job.
We've learned on the job. Like the amount of technical difficulties we've had with audio. Because you know how audio is key. Yes, we got the mics, but we need to learn how to work them because that's one thing. And also we've learned how to edit as well, the podcast.
Yep.
Learning a new software because we use Logic Pro to edit the audio, which has been a bit of a challenge, but we've done it.
Yeah. Staying on top of sharing as well.
Yeah.
When we publish them, doing the content to go with the website, the YouTube, social media, all of that. Trying to fit that into everything else, which, especially now that we work I work full time and Elsie's working as well. It's so hard. You get home and you have nothing more to give, but we've adjusted and readjusted.
Yeah.
At first we were sort of recording whenever, then we had to sort of reevaluate and decide to change how we record, just to make sure that we are maximizing time
and on top of it,
not burning out.
And also fitting it around our lives, because our calendar, we were like, oh, we can take all the Saturdays, and then we rejected.
No, we can't.
Oh, we need some of the Saturdays for ourselves.
Yes. Plus, some of the Saturdays ended up I can't speak English today. Ended up being you recording by yourself or me recording by myself because you had to go off and do something else, or I had to go off. So all those things. It's been a very interesting learning experience this year. It has.
And also the decision to record by ourselves when the other person is not there is because we appreciate the fact that our guests took the time to book these dates, and Mercy and I felt like rescheduling is kind of like we don't want to put our guests in difficult situations by rescheduling. So if one of us is available, you'll get one of us. If both of us are available, you'll get both of us.
Obviously it's better with both of us.
Yeah, of course.
But so we have 2 episodes coming up where we both recorded separately. They're great anyway.
They're amazing. We can't wait to share with you. I think by the time this goes up, we've already shared one, so the other one will follow, hopefully in the new year. Not hopefully, will follow in the new year.
It will follow.
It will follow in
because we can't have all this content sitting here and we do nothing with it. So we are kind of rearranging things to make sure that we are putting out the episodes as regularly as we can. Again, we're not really saying, oh, it's a weekly episode, or it's this, it's that. We're not really putting a specific
schedule
on it.
Is
because
it schedule or schedule? How do you say that one?
It's both. It's both. I say schedule.
I say schedule. Whatever.
You say schedule.
Yeah. You get it.
I think. So, you get it when you get it.
Yes.
You get the episodes when you get them, but we are trying to get them out because ultimately. What's the saying? It's better done than perfect or something like that. So we will put the episodes out. We will continue to put this content out because we understand and we still think it's as important as the day we came up with the idea. The stories are important to share. So no matter when they are shared, they will be shared. And we hope that you will stick with us and listen and share. Please share
the episodes. Also leave
because
reviews.
it feels good.
Yes,
it feels good to actually put the content out there and have it acknowledged. So,
and people also engaging because we do get messages like behind the scenes, like DMs and stuff. People like saying, oh, I like this episode because of this and that and whatever the person said. So share with your family, friends, leave us reviews and what you'd like to hear from us as well. Leave us suggestions as well.
Yeah.
Because our idea is not just talking about being moms and photographers. We also want to kind of sometimes touch on the business side of it. So one thing I know for sure, a lot of us moms struggle with is finances. And we want to hopefully bring other professionals in to the podcast. They don't necessarily have to be photographers, but just to ask questions on how we can improve our financial stability as photographers and being moms. Like, for instance, insurance, copyright, IP, and all these things. How to make more money, how to protect yourself as a business, because for some of us photography is our business, and we want to like have stability within our work, so all of these and many more, and I think that's what we want to achieve probably in the next year or so. So if you do know anyone who would be able to help us, it would be really, really helpful. Just share with them our podcast and ask them to reach out to us. We are open. We are open to having these conversations. And also one thing I wanted to touch on today in this episode is we understand, yes, we are having these conversations, but our intention is to open up to people to know that they're not alone. And our intention is not to offend anyone, if anything. We are not here to do that. So if at any point you feel you're not comfortable with the stories that you share with us, we are not going to publish those stories because it's happened to us. We recorded an episode and unfortunately it couldn't go out because the person felt like we said something during recording, and it happens. And also on the flip side, sometimes we've reached out to people and they said they're not ready to share with us, which is fine as well. We are not here to force anyone to share their story or cause offense, to be honest, because all of us are kind of like on the same playing field, so to speak. We are photographers and we are moms. That's the basis of it.
That's what we have in common.
That's what we have in common. So I don't know. Do you have anything to add on to that?
No, you said it all, and I just hope that whenever people are ready to share their stories, that they will approach us or reach out to us so that we can have these conversations. And we're not here to insist that anyone shares their story. That's not why we're here. We want you to be comfortable and vulnerable, and we've had so many of those moments in the last few that we have recorded, where people just share absolutely personal and relevant and beautiful parts of themselves with us, and we are so grateful. We know that's not such an easy thing to do. And we are so grateful, and we appreciate you opening up to us, and then through us opening up to the world and contributing your very vital voice to conversations like this. This is getting long, isn't it?
Is it getting long?
I don't know how many minutes.
On that note, we better wrap up, and we would like to wish everyone happy holidays if you're celebrating.
Happy holidays.
If you're not celebrating, just
have a nice life.
Have a nice life. Have a peaceful life. Give yourself grace. Meditate, rest, and all that jazz, right?
Yeah. Best wishes. And we'll see you soon. Or hear you soon.
Yeah.
We'll be with you soon.
Bye, everyone. So if you're interested in joining the conversations, we have a Google form you can fill out in our show notes. If where you're listening to this podcast does not support show notes, you can find our form on our website, www.photomamapodcast.com.
And if you have any questions, you can email us at photomamapodcast@gmail.com. Also, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at photomamapod. Catch you on the next episode.